So the next step, as you recall, the stiffness ratio is the step. There is another step after that, which is how to calculate the healing index. So again, I have my model. I run it twice, one with 0 seconds, one with 5 seconds, to plot the healing index, and then the endurance limit will be basically once I reach healing index equal to 0.5. I go down and I select my endurance limit based on different combinations. You can see here I have 4 different lines based on by changing the binder content or the air void. So, and this is even at just one temperature. So to put all the results together in one graph, this is the endurance limit for one binder at 3 different temperatures, 1, 2, 3, and also at different binder content or different air void combinations. So now it's very clear that endurance limit drastically changes by different factors: binder content, air void, climate, or even the traffic. Traffic is represented by the rest period, if I have high rest period versus low rest period. So after I was done with that, I think that wasn't enough for me to graduate, so we had to come up with another mini study. Actually, my professors now are saying it's not a mini study, it's another 200 samples that you need to test. So this mini study, why we came up with this mini study, as you recall, when I did my experimental plan, most of the factors are 2 levels. What does that means? That, let's say for the rest period versus endurance limit, what I did, I tested 0 seconds rest period and 5 seconds. So if someone came and used my model and said, you know what, I'm going to have a rest period equal to 10 seconds, that means endurance limit is doubled, and it's going to keep increasing, which is against the literature. We are saying we're going to reach a limit and we're not going to gain any more healing. Remember, Ponar or Rathke, they said, we are going to reach the maximum rest period, and after that you are not going to gain any more healing. So I believe that this is the true relationship. So that's why I needed to introduce another 2 levels for rest period. One within my current interval, which is 1 second, and one beyond my interval, which is 10 seconds. So the one with 10 seconds, it takes 2.5 days, but at least it gave me some confidence that endurance limit is not going to go forever, it's not going to keep increasing. Same thing for the strain level. So far I have 2 levels. That means the healing index is going to approach 0 at very high strain. And I really don't agree with that, because I believe even at a higher strain, if I apply a rest period, there will be some healing happen. So with introducing a 3rd level for strain level, that's the expected relationship. So this is the proposed mini study that I have to do. Again, it's about 180 beams. Almost halfway through. So what this study will accomplish is 2 main objectives. The first objective is the running 94 tests to introduce the new levels for rest period and strain levels. And the other one was, the other objective is to fill the missing cells. We had some of the panel members from Washington, D.C. They said, you have missing cells and you have to come up with your own predictive model to predict for me the missing cells. Why don't you fill the missing cells? This will give you more confidence in your results. Because basically what I'm saying, if I'm having some part of my analysis based on another prediction process, this is not going to give the audience that confidence to use the results. So I needed to come back and fill the missing cells, so now I know exactly where to extrapolate my line without any prediction. So with that, this is the timetable schedule for me. Again, I started in July 2009. Hopefully I'm going to be done with my mini study by December, finish my analysis by February, and hopefully wrap up everything by May. So with that, thank you so much for being here. And if you have any questions, yeah, please. Again, this is an ongoing study. Any question might be beneficial.
Yeah, but she didn't do the same. As I said, she did a
I don't know anything about pavements really, but you said that like the higher temperatures, the endurance limit was like always higher. So does that just mean that in Arizona we have to spend like less money replacing our pavement than they do in like Alaska, or is it just like?
That's a good question. Generally, it is good at higher temperature. Yeah. Again, here what I'm talking about pavement is a viscoelastic material, so it can be very stiff like metal at 40 Fahrenheit, or it can be very flexible at 100 Fahrenheit. So, and it's good to have it flexible. If I'm having the pavement as flexible as I can, this means the crack won't start even from the bottom. So I tend to say, yeah, it's better here. But again, it depends on the mixture type. Again, there are different types of mixtures. But generally speaking, yeah, higher temperature, that means better performance in terms of heating. Any more questions? Yes.
How many beams did you test with the 10-second rest period?
How many beams? I think about 50,
So that
50,
took
60. Yeah, this took, it took 3 months or 4 months by itself.
And in the UTM software, you can set the rest period, correct?
Yes, yeah, this is one of the, thanks. This is one of the accomplishments that we did for this project, because again, the typical way of doing this test was to run it without rest period. So we had to work with the manufacturer of the software in Australia to modify this test. And now we're proud enough to say the software that we're having is the only one that apply a rest period. I think they're going to commercialize it now at the university.
Does water play a role besides the heat?
Water, water is more of, we talk about the unbound layers, which is the soil. So I tend to say it won't to an extent. Like when you say water, are you talking about
where it rains a lot?
frost and so on?
Or if it rains a lot in that
Rains a lot.
place.
I wouldn't be too worried in terms of fatigue. There is another type of cracking, which is thermal cracking or loss in the stiffness because of the frost or the frosted water. But in terms of fatigue, I wouldn't say. But again, water is an important segment in our pavement system. Once we get to the soil and we can't prevent it, it's gonna damage the substrates and. Thank you.